What's good, Pam? What's good, man? Hit that thumbs up button. So Nick Cannon, all the apologizing and the pandering he did last year after his release from Viacom and CBS, Viacom CBS is over. So they brought back Wild 'N Out. They announced it this week. Everyone's like hip hop hooray. Look, I look at it like this, like because Nick was going through some. Nick had that moment. He was really getting into his consciousness. He was reading a lot more, tapping into his blackness, and he was doing interviews with cats like Professor Griff, Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed was one of his last interviews. That was actually Tax Tone's last interview, ironically. That's a whole nother topic, but and Umar and things like that. So, you know, you're dealing with cats that's not affiliated, that a lot of white people in corporate America ain't really trying to dig in the first place. And he was getting some good feedback from it. And then, like I say, here comes the Jewish people. Oh, he offended us. Now, Nick didn't directly try to intentionally offend the Jewish community. And I know what it's like when you say something and people don't comprehend, or they just, because a lot of times nowadays people act offended more than anything. They choose when they want to be offended by shit. It's like I did a video yesterday about the St. Lunatics and, and Nelly, and you had some people from St. Louis butthurt. Oh, you talking about my city? You don't know what's going on over her. And all I'm like, nigga, first of all, I said St. Louis wasn't shit before Nelly in context of music, hip hop music. Who from St. Louis was popping before Nelly? Thank you. I'm not apologizing. And I feel like if you didn't intentionally try to disrespect somebody, you shouldn't have to apologize. And who the fuck asks for an apology? That's not going to be genuine if you ask for an apology. That's like begging your girl to say, I love you. The fuck? She don't love you if you got to do all that? And look, now Nick, and I think the reason why Nick did backtrack and apologize, you know, and I was one of those people who was criticizing him, like, come on, man, you got to stand on your shit. A lot of people were unemployed because of Nick, Nick's actions or whatever. You talking about comics, young comics that he had on the show who was eating, making a name for themselves, all on the shelves. Stage handlers, camera guys, security guards, bartenders, all of these people that work for him were unemployed. So he probably was feeling some kind of way like, damn, I'm really not that sorry. I don't have nothing to be sorry for, but man, I might have to swallow my pride for the better of God knows how many people he got working for him. You know what I'm saying? Now, in my case, I don't work for corporate America. I don't have people working for me. You ain't getting no apology out of me. But when you work for corporate America as a black person, especially as a black man, you're already compromised. So Nick Cannon was compromised from the jump because of his position. And like I said, you got all these people working for you. Now, Viacom CBS didn't want to end the show anyway. They actually pitched it to DC Young Fly, who should be giving Chris Tucker royalty checks for the rest of his life. I swear every time I see that nigga, I think of Chris Tucker. So I hear it, I see it. But he turned it down publicly on Twitter. He was like, oh, hell no. Y'all not about to make me look like some kind of sellout and some traitor to my homeboy, you know what I mean? So he turned it down. So they wanted to keep the show around. But they was trying to find someone other than Nick. And then I guess they had to decide, okay, this is best that we just kiss and make up. You know, he was doing it for his people, it seems like, and they just couldn't find nobody else, I guess, to do the damn thing. Now, as far as the show itself, some people still watch Wild 'N Out. I don't. I stopped watching that maybe 10 years ago. When I used to watch Wild 'N Out was when they had like household name comics on there. Cat Williams was on there as a regular. Spanky Hayes. Michael Blackson, Corey Holcomb, D. Ray Davis. When they had cats like that, it was really genuinely funny because you had professionals, cats that been in the game 20 years, killing it. And then they went the cheap route. Viacom, CBS, MTV, they decided they didn't want to pay these cats as much. So they got rid of all of the established comics and brought in like up and coming young comics and like internet sensations. Like Ryan Davis, Jess Hilarious, Chico Bean, DC Young Fly, and nothing against them, you know what I mean? But when it comes to comedy, I just relate more to the old school stand-up guys. Now, stand-up comedians kind of give a hard time to the young kids that's doing internet stuff, but in the pandemic, how many stand-up comics really was eating that good? A lot of cats couldn't eat over the last year and some change. Being in the house isn't gonna stop you from making skits. So them young comics that's making skits and doing videos, they're the ones who was actually getting it, I guess, in the pandemic era. While the comics that get it on the road was kind of in a bad shape. That's why you see Corey bitching about Zoe owing him 20,000. I don't think that would have made much of a difference to Corey if it wasn't for the pandemic. But when you depending on shows, things are a little different. But with Nick Cannon, like I said, Nick had to do it, I guess, for the betterment of all the people that was around him. Because like I said, there's a lot of people that live off that show. You know what I mean? They got a bar. They got an actual bar, Wild 'N Out bar. It was a lot of people that was affected by that because of something that he said, and it wasn't anything that he said that was intentionally disrespectful. He had no reason to apologize. He probably didn't really mean it. But like I say, he let a lot of people down by the fuck shit that Viacom pulled. It's like, damn, I got people that, young comics that really need this platform and people that, got to feed their kids and so on and so on. And now they out of work because of some fuck shit. Basically a misunderstanding, because in today's society, people pick and choose when they want to be offended. And it's like, bro, come on, like, you got to have alligator skin, the way I grew up, I guess, because y'all couldn't handle what the fuck I've seen. Because this shit y'all be acting offended by, it don't even make no sense. It's ridiculous. It's way over the top ridiculous. But, it is what it is. We live in an era where everybody's butt hurt. Pun intended for all y'all punk ass niggas. But shout out to everybody who was on the show. They get their comeback. You know what I mean? They get to come back. And people who watch the show, they get their little show back. So it is what it is, man. But Nick Cannon got his show back, Wild 'N Out. And everything is going to be all... What was it? Yeah, so it's nothing else. So he's going back. So it is what it is. Now, I don't like the way they putting it out. Nick Cannon got his job back. Like the nigga was jobless for a whole year. Like he was out here struggling and shit. Let me know what y'all think, bro.